Security cameras inside some Kansas City schools are broken and not being fixed, and your child's safety could be at stake.
And investigator Ryan Kath reveals the problems he's uncovered and what's being done about it.
Most schools around Kansas City have security cameras like this. They're supposed to keep an eye on your kids, but in our exclusive investigation, we discovered cameras that could have helped solve a crime were not working, and they hadn't been for weeks. Outside the building and inside the hallways, security cameras follow students from the time they show up for class until the minute they get on the bus.
I just want the best for my school.
Elisha Verge is a parent of 2 students at Southwest. He graduated from the same school in 1985.
Everything still looks the same.
Security cameras weren't around then, but he's glad they are now.
It's a great resource for the school.
But in late August, students and parents heard disturbing details about 2 teens accused of raping a girl inside Southwest during the school day.
I was just shocked. And I just hoped it wasn't true.
Shortly after the reported sexual attack, the 41 Action News investigators learned some of Southwest's security cameras weren't working that day, meaning police could not recover a potential key piece of evidence. Just 2 years ago, the district hired ACS to install surveillance systems at Southwest and 5 other high schools. The price tag? About $1 million.
It's disappointing. Because we spent millions of dollars as a district on this, as a community on this. And so we would hope that, the system would be operational.
41 Action News obtained emails showing repeated requests for the cameras to be fixed. But the string of messages show calls to ACS went unanswered and the problems remained unresolved. A week before the reported assault, a repair worker showed up at the school after hours and couldn't get into the locked surveillance area. And at one point, the district's director of security expressed frustration with the company. He wrote the system had been down almost 3 weeks. ACS finally scheduled an appointment for August 30th, but it turned out to be 1 day too late.
It doesn't seem to be a priority. Oh, we'll get to you when we can. Well, our children need you here today. That young lady who was assaulted, she needed you that day.
Superintendent Stephen Green says he heard about the communication breakdown when the district investigated the sexual assault.
And what was your reaction when you learned about that?
Very much disturbed and concerned.
The 41 Action News investigators discovered other problems with security cameras around the district. This spring, again at Southwest, a group of cameras was down for a month. At Paseo, students started the current school year with more than a dozen cameras out of commission for weeks. And at East, 11 cameras are waiting for a reboot after a construction project damaged them. We checked with several other districts who reported no problems working with ACS.
Is it fair to expect that they should be working better?
I think it's reasonable to want to see improvement.
Green says district leaders and ACS sat down recently for what he described as a real talk, where both sides discussed strategies for improvement.
They know very well my expectations, and what I want are as much as one can have guarantees and assurances that we will not revisit this.
ACS President Robert Harper told me his company made several suggestions on how to streamline communication. He also recommended speeding up the district's approval process to get problems fixed faster.
Our children deserve better.
Just like the cameras, parents like Elisha Verge will be watching.
We need those cameras up for their protection.
Back live at Southwest tonight, it's important to point out there's absolutely no evidence to suggest that students knew the cameras in that section of the building were not working that day. However, moving forward, the superintendent says there will be changes. For one, regular audits of the surveillance system to make sure everything's working. Also, a dedicated field worker from ACS to also keep an eye on things. And we'll see how those changes are going over very quickly. School board members will vote on whether or not to renew the contract with ACS at the end of this month. We're live tonight in Kansas City. I'm investigator Ryan Kath, 41 Action News.
All right, Ryan, thank you. Now, we also checked with other districts who hired ACS for their surveillance system, and they reported no problems. So why has Kansas City seen such different results? Ryan reveals that part of the story tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.